Welcome, my Zentangle friends. My name is Emmy, and you're on the Zen with Emmy channel. I'm real excited you're here, and I have some fun things to do with you today. This is our last session for March, and I've got my usual supplies handy. In addition, I've grabbed myself a small circle or orb, as I like to call it, and I also have a piece of scrap paper handy. This Mandala is the perfect size for our project today, but I also could have used a CD. That would also be a perfect size. And I will put that, and I've just added it to the notes. So with the size of the outside border, I chose to do about what you would call a 1/4 inch or even 5 centimeters. And all I'm going to do is go all the way around in pencil and put a smallish mark that will give me something to aim for. It's not too big, but we are welcoming in April, should be here soon. We're all ready, aren't we? And we have enjoyed the merry month of March to the best that we could. So you can see I'm just making little tick marks all the way around on that scrap paper. And those will blend in real nice with where we're going with this. And that's, I bet, what you'd like to see now. So this is what we're going to make today. So I've got my tribute to a March and a clover. I've got some Lingonberries here, and I've got some catkin, which is like a pussy willow, and I'm not sure what these are, but they are called Fugu by Sonia Yenser. So let's get started with that outside border. Grab your pen, and as I've mentioned, I'm just going to follow along with the orb or the dots that I made with a series of flux. And I'm just going to go bottom to top, and then I want to put this treatment in here. Flux is a pattern by Zentangle headquarters. And inside you just put a dot and a slash, like that. And just connect them all the way around. And I will take a minute and speed this up for you, maybe with some music, if I can find anything that seems nice today. And I love the way that these are high and low to each other, and very interesting. So before I leave this fun flux pattern, I'm going to go back around and I'm going to darken on either side. Very quick with my pen, just like that. Just a tiny bit to take the edge off of where the flux joins each other. This little bit of drama will add quite a lot. You see, I tried to give you an example of how if you wanted to make these exactly perfect, but I like the wonky idea better, where some are going toward the up and some are going toward the bottom. And everything is always one stroke at a time with Zentangle. Nobody looks at every bit that you do or that anyone does. And that should be very freeing to us, and it is. Just enjoy the process. back at the start. Isn't it sweet? Alrighty then. So cap your pen just a minute, and I'm going to use this cute little orb. This is just about 1.25 inches size. A bottle cap would be fine, whatever. And you can go right over this, and you saw that I put mine on an angle on the side instead of putting it in the middle. So it's a little bit of a different shape or idea. Just trace around. Use your pen. You don't have to go right to pencil first unless you want to. There. Okay, so in here, I'm going to put a shamrock. And my shamrock, since I'm doing this on the side, my shamrock is going to come up here like this with a stem. And then I'm only going to do 3 today. So I come out, and I don't want this to be like a heart, so I kind of take that pointy part out. Come around again with the second lobe. Now you might want to practice that a couple times, but I'm here to say it's going to be just fine. Have faith, have faith. You'll like it. So now I'm going to put a treatment in here. I want to come up one side with something that I want to have look a bit like it's a fold. And then I want a large one in the middle and maybe some smallish whiskers. And I'm going to do that in each of the lobes. I'm going to come up one side, the outside, and then other. Maybe a long stick, kind of like in the middle for a center fold, and then some smallish whiskers that I will put shading on eventually. And let's do this last one. This one came out a little odd, didn't it, in its shape? I still think it's cool. I think I'll cut it off like this. Mine just got a little wonky more than I want. And then that cute little whisker thing. So I also have put a top treatment on here, like each of these, like this, where I kind of cut the top off just a bit. And here's the third one. And this I might even do on the outside since it seems to have quite a bit going on already. Oh, sweet. Isn't it fun? Alrighty. So I want to put some dots in here. Just little stippling dots. This is going to go along with the pattern that we're going to do in a couple of minutes out in this region here. Okay, so where I'm going to start is this. I'm going to start at one side here, and I'm going to make a big arc. And then I'm going to make a second arc next to it, an aura arc. So I'm making a big arc. And using my pen is fine, but you know you can always overdraw if you prefer. And then I'm going to make a second one. Don't bother to tie that off. It's going to be just fine. Now I'm going to make like a stick that's coming out this direction and a second stick that's coming out. And then I want to have maybe another one here that goes down. And then I'm going to come back to where that cute little shamrock is, and I'm going to make another one come over this way. So starting tight here and radiating out. And then I'm going to do a second aura to the first one. And then that's probably enough to get started right now. And then I think I'll put another one here. A little bit tighter. There, so that's quite enough to get started with our sweet project. And then let's go ahead and add some of that sweet pattern called Fugu. Fugu, let's do it like this. Fugu goes like this. It's really just a giant rice grain. So you have a big C, And then you connect the big C in the other direction. And then you come and you can go like this and make just a simple line like that and darken at each end. Or the one I chose to make this time is a giant C. Close the C. And this one for some reason seemed to indicate to me that a curve might be more toward an S curve. And then that little bit of whisker in the bottom to give that darkening effect. So your choice, there's two kinds of fugu. Your choice. Either one is fine. Okay, so, and starting anywhere you like too. So I'm going to start right at the top where this is, and I'm going to make a big C, a second that closes it off, and then I'm going to make that S down the middle, and maybe I'll go twice and darken it just a touch. Has a little more interest that way, I think. And then I kind of get a little, add an extra little point on here. And I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to have one that goes out this way. Sort of petals, I think I'd call them. I'm going to make one come behind here. Little point again. There's another one. Very sweet. Here, I really quite like how that looks. Now I have something called a Lingonberry. That I'm going to attach to these cute petals. A Lingonberry is like this. It's just a, well, I should start a different way. It is an orb, but I'm going to start a different way with the base of it. And then I want it, instead of a frown, like we do so often for patterns and berries, I'm going to come around like this. I'm doing a smile. And then I'm going to add a little top knot to my smile. And that's Emmy's version of a Lingonberry. So I'm going to need some Lingonberries in this cute process that I'm doing here. So I'm going to probably add some here. And maybe here too, but let's get another giant of the Fugu pattern. Giant leaf. It kind of looks giant to me. Close it off. Little bit of darkening with your pen, hash marks, to make it look like it's coming off of there. Now I'm going to need to go behind on this one. So I've got my C, and this C is going to start here and go behind. Lift your pen, go underneath, and reconnect. And then this is going to be fine. You won't have to worry about connecting here. And then a little bit of darkening both at the top and at the bottom. Gives the illusion of it having depth. Maybe just because I think we need it, I'm going to add another petal on here. That works on mine. It might not work on yours. So you do this how you do you, right? I'm going to do another one down here. Very much on the job. We'll just see how it all works out. Although I think it looks kind of cool. I hope you do too. Yeah. Now what's going to happen with this? It looks like it's going to totally have to go behind here. And it's going to just have to do something interesting, isn't it? Alrighty, I would like to have a couple of those lingonberries here. So remember, instead of a frown, it has a smile. I'm going to come back down to where the two stems were and reconnect. Isn't it cute? And a little bit of a top notch. I'm going to do another one. Come up, bit of a smile, go underneath, come out the other side. Cute, cute, cute. Let's make one go here. I think they're adorable. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing here too, is having a lingonberry smile, come round and round. Maybe another one come off here, smile and come around and go underneath. Aren't they sweet? Oh, I love them. I hope you do too. Okay, I'd really like to get another one of these flowers in here. So I'm going to do what I can because it's going to run off the side. So it's going to have the illusion of going underneath. And then darkening here at the bottom. I'm going to make another of those big leaves come off of here like this. And again, it's not going to be finished. It's going to be an illusion. It goes underneath my border. Actually, that's very cool and very fun. Ooh, I hope you like it. Should we put another one here? I will. Thicken. And underneath. Okay, let's look at what we have so far. So I have this very fun pattern. I'd like to put some more lingonberries over here, like they're coming out of this area, and I like them to be double stemmed. So maybe and that's an awful long stem there. So I think that I have to keep that in mind when I'm making this little project. Smile, go round. Oh, I crack me up. They're so cute. I think it's okay to make some of them quite squat, don't you? Okay, let's make a few here, and I also want to add a little bit of darkening drama where these branches are coming together. I'll make another one here. Couple more. Okay, what do we have? Kind of cute, I think. Alrighty, that might be enough for now. And now I want to put that cute pattern that's called catkin. Let's show you how that looks. Catkin actually has a hyphen between the cat and the kin. It goes like this. So we're going to make a long stem, and then I'm going to make a second stem. I'm going to make a couple of knots I guess you'd call them, on the stems. Thicken areas. Here's another one, room for one more. Where I've made those, I'm going to come out with let me see if I can make this even larger. There we go. Okay, I'm going to make a big hook like this. It's thick at the bottom where it's joining, and then it gets thin. So I'm going to come to the top of where that knot is, and I'm going to make a curve the other direction, and dot, dot, dot. Is that cute or what? So let's do it again. I'm going to make a big hook out. I want the hook thicker in the start, and then it comes around. Now from the top, I'm going to make a bit of an arc and a dot, dot, dot where they join back up. So do it again, just for practice. Make a big hook, thicker where that is, and then come from the top, arc, and dot, dot, dot. When we do shading in this particular one is going to come into the bottom here like this. I hope that makes sense. How fun is this? Catkin is a hoot. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and leave this nice and obvious for us. And I'm going to come out of this. This is going to have the illusion of coming out of this fun pattern too. So I'm going to make some stems, and obviously some are going to cross over just like Pussy Willows would. So start low, make a long, wide, curved stick, make a second stick to it, like an aura stick. Make another all the way to the start that spreads out a little bit more. Comes out. You'll have to look at your design and see if you want to make any more. But at this point, I'm only going to make some other kinds of branches, like from here. On mine, I'm going to make a branch like that. Now, this is your project, and you're looking at your project, so you know what you have room for. And if you don't have room for the Pussy Willow little ball thing, don't worry about that. It's going to be cute no matter what you do. So it would be normal for some of these to cross each other. Just as if you were to buy some at the store, or you were to go out in the woods and fetch your own if you can. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of sticks, and maybe just for the fun of it, I will cross one like that. Sweet. Okay, now it's time for me to get those little areas that have thickening on either side, those little knots that we're going to add. Like this, I'm going to add a knot. I'm going to add a knot. Oh, you know, they don't have to be perfectly spaced. I don't think nature's like that. So please know that if they're not, that is more interesting anyway, don't you think? If the knots are not, haha. So just put some wherever you think you can use some. Keep in mind that they might fall off, haha, which means that they won't maybe show up. Or maybe a squirrel ran up this Pussy Willow branch, destroyed that fun thing you had planned there. So I'm adding a bunch of those cute little knots here and there for potentially for my Pussy Willows. Like I've said, they may not all get on here. Okay, so let's get started where we can. I'm going to put the wide hook, thicker at the bottom. Come from the top, arc, and dot, dot, dot. So cute. So in my opinion, Pussy Willows have a bit of an arc for sure, but they have a bit more elongated. I don't know. You try to see how it can look for you. Arc, A bit more of an elongated one there. That arc is going to be half hidden. Here's another arc. It's going to be a smallish one. Arc, arc, dot, dot. 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 Getting into the land of some crossing over now. So knowing that some are going to show up and some are going to get lost. You know, it's a short season and some of them will fall and not be on here. Arc. Back down. Oh, they're so cute. That one's not going to happen at all, but I can put one over here. I don't think I have room for that one there at all. Dot, dot. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Look them over. Do you think you have any more room? How fun is that? I just love it. You might want to make this a little longer. I feel like I want to. I've got to make a couple more branches here. Let my branch go a little longer. That looks a little more natural to me. And I'm kind of tying them off just a bit. Not sure I have room for pussy willows on there, but I do like the idea of finishing this a little better. Here, there's another one to be finished, I think. Oh, I hope you like it. See if I can back up just a little so you can see how we'll shade this. Well, there's always in life a lot of ways to shade things. Well, one of the things I want to shade is inside this shamrock. Shade up those areas that I want to have be folds. I especially want to leave a little gray, but I am going to add something in the middle here. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to add this treatment here. I just think it fits it. Let's see what you think, but you can do anything you want in here. I've done some different things depending on what I had room for. But I just like that look of the orbs there. So, your choice. Now, the next thing I want to shade is around this thing. And I'm going to shade the outside of that circle or orb, whatever you want to call it. Because I want to have it have the illusion of lifting off the page. If I want it to lift off, I need to shade just outside of the orb. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to do a little bit with one side of these longish, what was it called? Fugu. And right up, darkening where I have those fun little fronds or petals. Kind of a crazy looking thing, I think, but I like it. I'm going to need it at the top too. A little more shading up there. And the top of the smile needs shading. So I've only done one, like this is laying on here. So I'm only going to do one here. I'm not worried, like, and sometimes in art class or in art in life, you worry about the area that's in the shade, and we're not going to worry very much about that. That is very hard to control in Zentangle at the level that we are, and I just want you to enjoy yourself today. So I'm putting a little bit of shade in each of those smiles of those Lingonberries. And then, I think I already mentioned to you where I'm going to shade in these pussy willows here. I'm going to shade just at the base of each. And my blender stump is going to carry the shade a little further so that I feel real good about just getting as far as I do with that. Okay, the last place I want to shade before I start smudging is right on the inside of this flux pattern that I've used as a border. So I'm working very much on the side of my pencil here. Not in the middle, very much on the side, so that I can lay lots of graphite around here. And you see, I'm trying to get in all the little areas, but if I should mess up, my smudger will help me with this. We're going to do something special with this in just a minute, so stick with me. So don't know what kind of paper you have, but of course you're always going to use the best that you happen to have, because it matters. The better quality paper you have, cardstock or whatever, the better your project will come out. There we go. All right, smudger time. So let's start, and smudging goes very quickly. So I'm going to start right here and just push, trying to leave these little orbs to the light or the tile color, whatever color my tile is. Mine happens to be kind of a cream color. I'm going to go right around the outside where I laid that shading on of this orb that has my sweet shamrock encased. Switching over to spring. Fun spring activities. You see how that matters, right? Okay, so I have this band that I laid on here, and all I want to do is smudge it and thicken it. As I go up that side, I'm also going to shade. Now, if I find I've got too much on here, which I'm starting to feel like I do, I'm going to grab whatever paper is handy. I'm going to shade, I'm going to push that off because this is just getting so full of shade of graphite that it is hard for me to get it precisely where I want it. Okay, let's finish this one now. Push. So you do have your handy eraser should you need it, and I hope you won't, because Zentangle has no mistakes, just opportunities. That's what we say. There, now that turned out pretty cool. Okay, these smiles, I want to smudge my smiles. Lingonberries are so cute. Okay, so, still missed one there. Okay, easy to do. Let's go along here, and in the pussy willows, the catkin, let's smudge along here. Just the bottom. Push that shade up. Oh, it's so sweet, isn't it? All right, now, around the outside edge, I'm going to do something a little different here. I want to push this in But see, I've got cream color here and I've got dark here. And this can be a little tricky because I want it to stay real dark here, but I want it to lighten on into the paper. You can see what I'm driving at. It's very pretty. There you go. See it smudging right in? But I'm still left with my cream here at the edge. Dark, 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 and then it gets light. As you can see, I'm using a circular motion. It's easy to push that into the fibers of the paper better this way. This is a pretty, pretty pattern. I really would love to have you post yours on Facebook somewhere, on the Emmy Zen Friends, or somewhere on the Zentangle, one of your Zentangle sites, so that other folks can see what we're up to here. I'd just love it if you would. Anyway, I'm trying to make sure there's no obvious area between the dark to the light till it disappears. That's really where I'm trying to go here. And the circular motion definitely helps with that. But if anytime you need to, stop and get some of that graphite off of your blender stump. All the way. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Is this ever pretty? That's a better angle. All right. So one thing that I'd like to do here, and you might enjoy this and might not, but I like to put these little X's, one direction and then the other direction, as kind of a backdrop. And I'm working very lightly. Where I have occasion to lift my pen, it'll come out the other side. And I let my pen skip. I'm letting it work as lightly as it wants with this cute little backdrop that I'm making. This kind of lets me look over my work too and say, ooh, I really like that, or I really wish I'd done a little more with something. But this is kind of my last finished touch. I hope you like this project. It was very fun to create for you. I have a cool one coming up, of course. My friends will laugh. They all say, you always like all the ones you do. Don't forget your signature somewhere on here. This is definitely what you call Zentangle inspired art, a Zia, because it does look like something. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.